Hello, hello. Welcome to your timeless North Node reading here on North Node Alchemy. My name is Samara. Welcome and welcome back. So, in this round of readings, we are accessing information in your Earth Star Chakra, which is an important chakra to be in tune with. It holds the information of your what we call the sacred invitation. So, the invitation that was sent out to your soul to come to Earth during this time of great growth, expansion, and transition. That chakra, the Earth Star Chakra, is overlit by the Archangel Sandalphon. And on this particular card for the Archangel Sandalphon, it says, tune into your divine potential, bring the world into harmony. If you have worked with your Earth Star Chakra before, you may have seen it come in kind of a range of colors between brown and silver. When I started working, excuse me, I just woke up. When I started working with my Earth Star Chakra, it was first showing up as a kind of a light metallic brown, and then it moved into a brownish, like a silvery brown, and now it's silver. So that was my journey of activating, awakening, and strengthening my connection to my Earth Star Chakra. It's important in your understanding your destiny, path, and purpose. So that's why it's popped into this these North Node readings where we focus on that aspect of our soul. Do remember that these are general readings. I'm just doing one intro for the whole collective. So these standard reminders, remember these are general readings, so not everything will resonate with you. But if it does resonate with you, or enough resonates with you that you feel like you want to know more, I do personal readings, and I have a particular reading called the Personal Extended Reading that you can request. And that in that format, you can send me the link for whatever video or the title of whatever video resonated with you, and we will work from that basis and continue to clarify and expand based on the general reading that I've done here on YouTube. Last bit of information before we get started. This will be a kind of shortened version of my full North Node spread. So I usually use 6 or 7 decks even, and this time I'm only using 4 for this. So we'll be together for about 25 to 30 minutes. And okay, let's get started. Enjoy your reading. Hello, Aries North Node. Welcome to your timeless messages from your Earth Star Chakra. So I'm going to start with pulling some universal energies that are at play at this time. Whenever you come across this reading, hopefully there should be something for you. Remember, I only do read for the North Node placement. Messages for Aries North Node. Messages for Aries North. Okay, so let's see what we have here. In the first position, you have Connections, card 21. And you have Fairies, card 42, double of 21, they like me to point out. And then you have Revelations, card 15, which adds up to 6, number of balance, give and take. So what is coming from your Earth? Oh, at the bottom of the deck, you have Universal Connection. Another connection card. So Aries North Node. Significant message coming from your Earth Star Chakra at this time is that your connections have a significant role in how your path purpose plays out. And they're also saying what timeline you end up being attached to or you end up being aligned with. This is something that it's true for all of us. This is something that you in particular are being called to recognize, that who and what you are associated with will influence your energy in certain directions. And yes, you could be strong enough, let's say, strong enough in your center to not be pulled. But the reality is, your connections pull you into situations, interactions, places and spaces that unfold into certain timelines. So in the pursuit of, let's say, your highest timeline or your favorite timeline, the timeline that you feel most called to, or even when you're just in those situations where you want to change your life, one of the first places you should look is who you are attached to. This is in the physical realm and in the non-physical realm, because fairies here, card 42, coming after connections here, is saying that your in the non-physical, also be aware of what you are connected to in terms of the energies that you may subconsciously or unconsciously keep replaying and perpetuating in your life. So you could be attached to daydreaming about certain scenarios. You could be, okay, this is for someone very specific. You could be attached to a guide or a spiritual, no, what word am I looking for? A consciousness of another dimension or another world that is no longer working with you. It's like no longer a main guide. So they're giving me the example of if you had an elder pass away or someone pass away in earlier on in your life, and you're very connected to thinking of them or praying to them in times of need. This also feels very specific. That person may no longer be assigned to you. So they've done their work in your life and now they've moved on. Does not mean that you can't still revere their, life, or honor their life or honor their memory. However, we have to understand that some of our guides stay with us for lifetimes, and some of them just come in to encourage a certain transformation within us or help us through certain situations. So some of you need to take the time to feel if there has been what is being termed as the changing of the guard, so that you have one set of guides that have left and another set of guides coming in. Childlike energy is also important for you. So in your connections, you can seek out connections that have a childlike energy, an inner child energy. So not childlike in terms of immaturity, childlike in terms of wonder, awe, believing that anything is possible. This is important for you, Aries North Node, as your North Node energy is that of a trailblazer. And part of your mission will be to have the courage to blaze a trail without having any support. So to start that walk without any support, but at some point along that walk, you should be focused on or have an openness to receive people who will actually support you. And in this revelations, you're being called to regularly audit who and what is in your life. Once again, feels like a general message to anybody, but this is very particular for you, and it feels significant that the card that came out to signify that is also very much the card of like in the coloring of the Archangel Sandalphon card here. And I was called to put the card right underneath, like right in this corner. So you're also being encouraged to learn about yourself through your connections. They're showing your connections of those people, places, and things that are challenges and blockages to you are reflecting that within yourself. And you will speed up manifestations, speed up expansion and progress, and go through them with less turmoil, less, what's the word I'm looking for? Resistance. If you are open to seeing through different lenses, different perspectives, or seeing what is reflected in you in your relationships. I'm going to pull tarot on that now. Okay, what else for Aries North Node from the Earth Star Chakra, please? Oh, no, yeah. Everything is falling out in clumps. I don't take clumps. I like clarity. Okay, there we go. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. All right, so where shall we start? Let's start. They want me to start here. It's interesting. So we have coming under the Revelations card, we have the Five of Materials and the Queen of Materials. Under the Connections card, we have the Knight of Materials and the Tower. And under the Fairies card, we have the Nine of Voices and the Four of Voices. Okay. Okay. So where shall I start? Where shall I start? Okay, they want me to start under the Revelations card. So with Revelations, you have Five of Materials and the Queen of Materials, which represents the earth element. And then traditional tarot would be the Pentacles. So, okay. You're being called, you'll find that you may, if you look back at your life, you may find many times that where you were called to make something out of nothing or seemingly nothing, where you were called to, where you felt you didn't have enough resources, but you prevailed anyway. Or you found a way. So for some of you in this group who's watching, making something from seemingly nothing, let's say seemingly nothing. So making use of resources in creative ways to make amazing results is a skill that sits in this Earth Star Chakra. It's like it's an innate talent. It's an inner knowing that that we all have the potential to make more than the best out of our situation, that we often are not looking at how much resources we actually have because we're looking at what we lack as opposed to what we have. You, Aries North Node, are being called in two ways here. One, in creating or following what you feel is your divine potential, your life purpose, is in really understanding that the universe is never working against you. They're only working to get you closer to it. So when you are presented with lack, what feels like lack, you are called to look to what you do have as your attention. I'm stumbling on my words this morning. Your attention is being divinely directed to where it needs to be. As we said, those elements, those connections that actually align you with a higher potential, a higher path, your divine potential. So that's one. Second is you are within your divine potential is this ability to, I want to say, go with the flow or run with what is there and reveal the magic of what is already there and what is possible with what is there. Also bringing into the material realm what it is you feel that needs to be added, that one needs, by having the gratitude and making the most out of what is already there. There is an insect flying around. Sorry. Yes, it just flew onto my hand as I was saying that. So maybe I'm to make the most of having an insect in my room, which is not, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get distracted. Next, Knight of Materials and the Tower under the Connections card. Okay, breaking down systems, breaking down a lot of. So I'll always be speaking in the microcosm and the macrocosm. I'll be speaking of the general meaning for your sign and what's coming from your Earth Star Chakra, and also speaking to what could be going on in your life around the time that you encounter this reading. In the bigger picture, let me start with the smaller picture. In your personal smaller picture, piece of the puzzle, you can be experiencing that if you want to, a decision that needs to be made or a movement that needs to be made, that if you want to create real change, that you're going to have to break down some structures that you're a part of or break free of some structures that you are a part of. This may be a gradual process, and it may be a process that you were guided into. You feel like it's necessary. It may be something that you can't leave quickly, or that you can't leave because it has roots in your life. There is a foundation of it in your life. However, it's calling to be broken down nonetheless. Why? Because it can be part of a bigger, let's say, societal story, societal structure, societal norm that needs to be broken. And all those of you who break that cycle, question that structure, dismantle that structure in your personal lives, the momentum is given for the bigger manifestation of it in our lives, in our structure of society, for that to be broken down. Excuse me. Some of you may be breaking away from a family unit and going off on your own. It requires you gathering your resources, though, because you know that there will be no support once you move on. Once you cut those ties, and you may be very, if this is a business, if this is a family relationship, business relationship or family relationship, you may be, and you're also partially advised to, yes, be cautious or be not cautious out of fear, but cautious out of knowing that these could be people that you will encounter again. And just because you're not close to them anymore or working closely with them anymore does not mean you want to burn any bridges or cause any bad blood. So you're being advised to be careful of your words and to have any aggression or anger under control. Let the leaving be enough. Yes. And be at peace with moving on. Don't feel that you have to get any revenge or tell someone off before you go. Going should be enough, is what they're saying. Then at the last card here, fairies, you have the 9 of voices and the 4 of voices. So once again, this is all about the air element, communication, intellect and rational thought. So here you're being called. So once again, microcosm, macrocosm. When you are not supported, it can make you doubt yourself. It can make you feel angry or frustrated because these are people that you may have an emotional bond to, a spiritual bond to, but you don't feel seen or understood necessarily when it comes to the ways that you imagine living life, moving forward in life. When you're enthusiastic, they tend to want to dampen your enthusiasm, and that can be frustrating. So, and in that frustration, you may be led to some feelings of animosity, some judgmental feelings or judgmental thoughts about these people who are challenging your way of thinking or being. And you're just being called to rest and spend time in your fantasy world. For some of you, this will be a regular refuge that you'll have to take in order to align with your destiny and purpose, because right now you're in a transition of who accompanies you through your life, this next phase, this next chapter of your life. And it's imperative that you are able to stay in a vibration, a way of living and being that attracts the people, the right people for you into your life. So let's see what else. feel like he needs a second one there. Okay. All right. Okay, so I wasn't necessarily defining this position. You're the first, so I'm feeling into why certain cards were chosen and certain decks were chosen. For you, this feels like I just said the energies, people that you'll be calling into your life. This could either be, these cards are either those energies that are being called in, they'll either come in the form of another person or a form of your personal development. We have the captain taking command, teamwork. Yeah, that's totally makes sense. In this Revelations by the Five of Materials and the Queen of Materials, where we talked about you being able to make something out of nothing and having a vision. So the captain is speaking of having a vision and following that vision and but leading the team into your vision. So if you haven't looked at your North Node career reading, I would suggest you look at that as well. So we're just reiterating here this Aries North Node energy of taking the lead, taking command. That's an energy that your Earth Star Chakra is emitting to you. And then we have the orator, communication, confidence, under this connections card here. I feel that in the next while, from when you encountered this reading, there'll be a lot of communication around what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And you'll find with this third eye that's very prominent here in this picture, you'll find that when you have truthful communication with the people around you, that these towers will be less dramatic when I don't know if the person or people on the other end will understand, but you will definitely understand that these relations don't work because you're not working from the same intention. You don't hold the same values. And that in itself is a reason to allow the relationship to dissolve. Once again, business or personal. And then we have, I feel there's something else here. As they're pointing me to the skull, I think you'll feel at peace with things going through a death cycle, a death and rebirth cycle. You'll feel at peace. And it will help you be more firm and centered in what you believe and what your values are and what your talents are. And then we have at by the fairies here, the fate, accepting help and guidance, and the merchant, self-worth and trade. Yes, the fate. You do have new guides coming in, or you do have access to guides that could help you more. Some of you are very much being called to work exactly with that, fairies, exactly with those elemental beings, with beings who are closer to the third dimensional vibration, right? When we have archangels and angels, they work on higher vibrations, they work in one or in particular ways. They can't necessarily access the energy, the vibration that is closer to our physical dimension. For that, you need elemental beings, dragons, like beings who are working in, say, 4D and 5D. 4D in particular is helpful in because they're closer to the physical realm. So they have easier time breaking negative energies that are existing closer to us, and also affecting energies that are closer to the physical manifestation. I don't know if that made sense. Those are the words they gave me, though. Closer to being physically manifested. The higher the dimension, higher frequency of the energy, the longer it takes to show itself in the physical, right? The closer it is to this vibration or third dimensional vibrations, the faster that result will show or show up in physical reality. So you are being called to accept help and guidance from elemental beings. You may have to, if you have a meditation practice where you can find out, receive guidance on who to work with, then I suggest you are being prompted to do that. Most obvious one here off the bat is fairies. And with the merchant, self-worth, and trade, some of you need to sell some of your stuff. No, seriously. So I don't know why that's coming up in that way. There are too many thought forms connected to some of the things that you own. That's what I'm getting. Too many thought forms connected to some of the things that you own. There's an imbalance. Too many physical possessions. That still wants to say something to me. I'm going to pull the final oracle. Some of you have something that you want to sell, that you need to sell, that they are encouraging you to get out there and start selling. And they're showing me like flea market stands, farmers market. They're showing me it in a small type of vendor kind of way if it's a physical product, physical things. Some of you are being encouraged to just get started. It will give you a sense of peace to just get started on a small scale that you can do by yourself. Now, I am seeing physical products on a physical stand, but some of you, that may not be the case. Final oracle for Aries North Node, please. We're already at 30 minutes here. Final oracle for Aries North Node, please. Wisdom, card 22, Bay. I'm going to take all three of these. We have wisdom, tranquility, violet, and at the bottom of the deck we have 40, positivity, and I'm going to take that too. So I think I'll leave those words to resonate with you, at least tranquility and positivity. Or is there a final sentence. So when you tap into yourself and your inner knowing, your inner wisdom will let you know that you are very much on a path of growth, expansion. And as long as you're following that inner wisdom and keep tapping into it regularly, you will always be steered back to the actions, and that will align you with your divine potential and purpose. Have confidence and faith that those urges you are getting are divinely guided. And even if there is chaos what feels like chaos in your physical realm with the reorganization of your life around these revelations that you are coming to. Be at peace with knowing that it's leading you to a place of much more fulfillment, a fulfillment that only comes from being aligned with your true authentic self and with your path and purpose. That is what I have for you, Aries North Node. I hope that was helpful. If it did, do like and subscribe. And do remember that I am available to continue this reading for you if you are so inclined. I wish you all the best. Until next time, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.